What's up, guys? Frugal BC. Got a big Hedera video for you today. Plenty of Hedera news. Good stuff going on in the ecosystem, including is the price about to explode in January, February. We are going to talk about that and look at some reasons why that might be. Plus, we've got Hedera being voted the best DLT amongst these other blockchains for digital passports. We'll dive into that. Will Hedera power carbon tracking at Kia or Hyundai, or is this hopium? Hedera headed to space soon. Oh, that's wild. And machine learning protocol is about to go live on Hedera with a very interesting use. So we're going to dive into all that on today's Frugal BC. It's been a little while, not too long since we did a Hedera video, but longer than I would like. And we want to dive into this. So if you support me doing more Hedera videos, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It'll show it to more people and help the channel grow and lead to more Hedera videos on this channel. Our last one did really, really well. So I'm always happy to explore the Hedera ecosystem. And I know I do a lot of content around Algorand, but I think Hedera is a really good complement to that. And we also have channel memberships. You can get videos before anyone else for only $1. Plus we have special videos for other tiers. So if you check that out in the description below, I'd appreciate that. And since this is not an Algorand video, I just want to give a really brief shout out to Non-Fungible Domains and Marcus Aurelius, our sponsors on the channel. And if you are a company building on Hedera and you'd like to sponsor the channel, please reach out in our email on the channel main channel page, and we will take a look. So otherwise, let's get to this because I thought this was very interesting about Hedera potentially having a big explosion in price early next year, which I've been kind of expecting for a lot of alts anyway, and we'll get into why that is. But we can start by looking at the current price of Hedera. Here's Hedera's current price at about 27 cents. It is up to number 16 in market cap, which is a pretty tremendous improvement from a few months ago. Now, obviously, we'd like to see it a little bit higher, but on the 7-day, it's actually up a little bit, about 3%. On the month, up 64%. And of course, on the year, 216%. Now, there was a time, obviously, when this was up much higher. It was around almost 500% at one point on the total for a year, not like year to date, but just an actual year, which right now is actually pretty close to year to date. In fact, it might be a little different, but not much. Here's, the year to date would be a little further back. But yeah, this is for not even usually hitting the period where alts really pump. This is really impressive. This is what you like to see, and it kind of indicates a utility coin pump. I think that's excellent because we also saw XRP pump, we saw Cardano pump, we saw Algorand pump. All the so-called dinosaur chains, or what ghost chains they were called a while back. I think Hedera actually got itself removed, as I recalled from that article. But I think it was just kind of nonsense. Like, there's so much stuff being built on all these chains, like especially Hedera and Algorand. They both have a lot going on, and I think it's crazy to call them ghost chains. I mean, it's just nonsense. So anyway, why do I think it's going to go up? Well, first off, and can we even talk about this? Yeah. I mean, this is what happened last time. We were actually pretty low. We were actually relatively low last cycle. This is 2021. Just starting the 2021, it was like 3 cents, and then it really started to shoot up in January and February until by March we hit a high of 36 cents, and then it went up even higher. Then we had that little dip, kind of following the typical cycles, and then by fall, which is the charts look pretty much identical on Algorand, obviously different scales, but yeah, it hit 40-some cents. So I don't know what to make of that because we had a pretty good pump without really being fully in alt season. So I think that's really impressive. Well, let's look at what this other piece has to say. This is from Sean Orugal is his name, member of the WEF, Digi Euro, UN, all that good stuff. Investor, board member, ex-Oracle person, Harvard certified leader, the next web, all kinds of good stuff. He says, market is down, but H-bar whales just keep buying more and more. The longer this accumulation period goes, the higher the price targets. $4 plus H-bar sounds less crazy every day. This keeps going on. And you can see the accumulation in the chart. This is really good to see. It's just a steady trend up even as the prices drop. In fact, maybe because those prices have dropped a little bit, people are buying the dip. I think we're going to see good things from HBAR and Algo in January and February. Accumulation ahead of historic periods of uptrend should be good for both. And that's kind of what I pointed out, right? Like typically alt season starts begins in the year after, early in the year after the Bitcoin halving cycle. As I always tell people, there's no guarantee that previous cycle will be the same as the current cycle. We had some differences last year in Bitcoin's price, for instance. Chelsea is saying $10 next year. I think that's awfully high. I just don't think people are going to take profit. At $4, a lot of people are going to be taking a lot of profit. You're going to have a lot of sell pressure. And I don't know that the FOMO will be able to match it at that price, but you never know. You really never know for sure. Will Hedera power carbon tracking at Kia or Hyundai, or is this hopium? And I got one I actually skipped. We'll get back to that one in a second. So this was posted on the main. Oops, hold on a second. This was posted on the main Hedera subreddit. It says Hyundai and Kia just unveiled IGIS, an advanced system for tracking carbon emissions across the entire vehicle lifecycle, leveraging blockchain technology for secure data management. IGIS is integrated with SCEMS, which previously announced Hedera integration. So that sounds really great, right? But you'll notice there's no source. I'm always a little leery when I don't see a source and there's no source, and this might be why. Silent Cockroach says no mention of Hedera in the announcement, and Hedera has made no such announcement. Although this new IGIS thing may integrate blockchain, there's no proof that it uses Hedera, which their previous carbon emission tracking system SCEMS used. However, in the press release about SCEMS, there was no mention of Hedera either. IGIS is supposed to integrate their previous systems. This does not indicate it will necessarily rely more heavily on HBAR. The Hedera use case may remain the same size, but become only a portion of a larger system. Although I would love this in last month's price action or during trading hours to signalize further connection between Hyundai and Kia and Hedera, there's definitely no proof in this case. So kind of looks like nonsense. Maybe something to keep an eye on, but doesn't look very solid at this point. But I think that stuff is worth talking about because it also teaches us how to be mindful of sources. Well, here's some better and more solid news for Hedera. Hedera beat out a whole bunch of other chains to be considered the most suitable ledger for digital battery passports. Let's look at this. This is from Tata, new study from Unimore University, USF official, and Unisos on DLT selection for digital battery passports examines Ethereum, EOS. They're still looking at EOS. Man, EOS is now that is a dinosaur coin. That's been around for a long time in crypto terms anyway. Cardano, Hyperledger, Corda, Multichain, IOTA, and Hedera. The analysis identifies Hedera as the most suitable ledger. Here's the abstract. As the growing demand for electric vehicles necessitates an efficient and sustainable lifecycle management of lithium-ion batteries. This work examines existent literature on digital battery passports, crucial for high-quality data for decision-making purposes, and distributed ledger technologies as transparent and enablers. The analysis identifies Hedera as the most suitable ledger, followed by IOTA and EOS. So, hey, EOS took third, it looks like. I know we always bash it as being kind of old. So my sense about this, without digging too much into it, is basically we have a passport so that, in fact, let's just verify that. So basically there's data around the batteries so that its life cycle, because you wouldn't want to buy a used battery that you thought was 2 years old and was actually 20 years old, or that's probably an extreme example, but being able to know its life cycle is really, really important. So yeah, really cool piece of news. Next up, is Hedera headed to space soon? We talked about this a little while back, and it's kind of interesting, but let's look at this again because I think this is worth diving into. All right, this is from the official Hedera subreddit. Only 2 weeks ago until Hedera HBAR heads to space, quite literally. WiseSat, powered by WiseKey, Seals HQ, and Hedera, is set to launch with SpaceX on January 14th, 2025. And the launch will be broadcast live on X's SpaceX account. So this is another one where we have to be a little cautious because I looked at the announcement. It does not mention Hedera anyway, but apparently WiseSat is powered by Hedera, so I think it's a really interesting piece of news. I know there's some people question how strong of a connection this is, but apparently that's how it's operating. So I think that's worth pointing out. And last but not least, this machine learning protocol appears to be about to go live on the Hedera consensus service, and has some really interesting use cases. Let's take a look at this. This is right from the HBAR Foundation. combining a robust risk framework with machine learning model, a branch of AI built on the Hedera consensus service to help reduce the risk of liquidation events. The protocol is expected to go live in the first quarter of 2025. Let's take a look a little deeper. Lending and borrowing protocols are the cornerstone of all DeFi ecosystems. However, opportunities come with risks such as liquidations, token manipulations, and minting attacks. Leading protocols like Aave and Compound have engaged third-party firms such as Gauntlet and KS Labs to develop robust risk frameworks, resulting in closed-source solutions with strict rules applied. But this uses machine learning instead to help reduce the risk of liquidation events. This model is entirely permissionless and aims to make Serio's risk parameters more user-friendly by leveraging the model's activity to enhance user awareness of liquidation risks. The Serio model is designed to predict and prevent liquidation events in real time by alerting users to potential risks and suggesting preventative actions. The team aims not just to protect assets, but also foster a more user-centric DeFi environment. So in other words, it's set up to, instead of coming from the restriction side, it's going to help give you better advice so you don't get liquidated. That sounds like a good idea. Anyway, that's the news we have for Hedera this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, I'm FrugalBC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.